Hey, so I wanted to show you all an update here. So I'm actually getting the car ready for Beach Bash, and we're changing out the intake manifold and also the throttle body. So this was my temporary throttle body. Cool thing about these two, obviously this one is a much larger bore. You can actually fit this inside of the, the hole there. You can see how much of a difference it is. The next up is the actual intake manifold itself. So this manifold is actually going to be sitting lower. So whenever I do cut my hood out finally, now that I have this piece, I can actually cut the template in my hood and, may have this to where it's not sticking out as much as it was. It'll still probably stick out some, but not as much. And so you can see these here. Of course, this is the top plate. I did paint everything last night, so obviously it doesn't come like this. It just comes in raw aluminum. Sean might be able to get you powder coated options as well. I just ended up doing everything myself. That way I could paint match the exact paint that I used for the car here, and then same with the cover. So these covers actually come with a gasket. You can see the gasket here, and that's cut out. Let's see how it's cut out inside of the top plate. It comes with all the bolts. And these intake manifolds designed, you can see the airflow differences. You can see how the inlet is, same with the flow there. And then on the back underside, you can see how it is actually ported. So it's a beautiful piece. I'm super excited to get this thing on. I just have some things. I gotta go get some plugs because obviously these came with it. I don't use any of the holes. On the back side here, I have my intake air temp, and then I have to plug these 3 holes. So the nice thing I really like about this is the intake air temp is going to actually, we can walk over there in a second, be on the back side closest to where the harness comes in. So before, my intake air temp was like way over here on the old intake manifold, and so it had this long cable coming out and just one less thing that I'm gonna have to actually worry about. But yeah, overall, this is a beautiful piece. These are the gaskets from the gasket place. They are thermal, and so I'm really interested to try these out because they are a different compound than your typical white thermal gaskets. So as you can see, I got these on Epi-Tour as well, but these gaskets are definitely different and they are still thermal, so the reusability is still there, but I'm definitely interested to see how these are different than your typical gaskets that everyone else uses. That's just the plain white, but these are definitely a different compound. So I have to ask Sean what the benefits of these really are over the white gaskets. But so we're done here. Let's go ahead and walk over to the car. That way I can show you. I'm actually getting the wheels mounted up. I'll just do a shout out to Cosmos. They're not sponsored or anything, but they're pretty cool. So these lug nuts, they come with the nut to be able to tighten them on the inside so you're not scratching up the outside of the lug nut. And then they have this little gasket here for whenever you actually are done. It's gonna have a nice watertight seal on your lug and it covers up that look and makes it a nice, in my case I got gold ones to match everything else that's gold on the car. Ignore how dirty it is because it is very dirty. But like I said, whenever you are, or where the intake air temp is going to actually be on this side now, so here's where the cable comes in, and you used to have to go all the way around. Yeah, see, I have the cable way over here. I had to even cut my harness to extend it out to make it fit for where this intake manifold was. So now it kind of sucks because I could have had a perfectly good one, but it's whatever. So I'm gonna actually undo this stuff, run it back through, and then throw the slack in the back. But yeah, so now it's gonna be sitting here instead of being way over here. So that's pretty sweet. Of course, you can see the billet fuel rails, ported runners, radium fuel system there, fuel setup, chase bays, fans, chase bays radiator, a raised water neck, overflow, and then a vibrant catch can feeding into the radium. So pretty much everything's coming along really well. Yeah, so, oh yeah, JS alternator. These things are freaking awesome. They come powder coated. Well, you pay the extra. Sometimes they have the sales and stuff, but these alternators do wonders. I hold nice steady voltage. It's much stronger, and they actually custom mill these pulleys to fit whatever, like you'll ask you for your RPMs and all this stuff. So it's super neat. Pretty much it. But yeah, just getting the car ready for Beach Bash. I do need to get a custom intake, or well, new intake done, because I'm going to actually have it run and sit over here. That way my headlight ducts from EFB run through here. And so yeah, you can see more chase-based stuff back here. Brake booster delete. And then all my fuel systems all from P2R. Oh, and then here's my return line. So a lot of people asked about that on my last video. These new radium fuel pressure regulators are awesome. All you have to do is just adjust it here. And then on the other side, I actually have the pressure gauge just mounted right to the fuel rail, and then I can just literally reach over and adjust it to match it up to my 43 that I always have it running at. But yeah, that's it. Stage wheels, sweet. Of course, all my race quip stuff, all my safety gears, all race quip. And then Howtech stuff here. Custom built cars, made the IC7 mount plate back there. That way I can have a nice flush, like stockish look to it. It's pretty awesome. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, the car is coming along really well. Nothing, you can't really see it in the back. I have the new anti-gravity battery back here. I will say that 1500 crank amps, as soon as you push that push button start, I mean, you just hear that the starter just churning away in there, starting the car, so that's much better. But yeah, the car's coming along, and we'll see you all at Beach Bash.